Teach your children their private parts. Call the names appropriately. It might be too vulgar, you might say, but I mean, a private part is a private part. Simple. If you want to tell them the actual name, you can introduce it to them early on. Tell them which is bad touch and good touch, so that when you're not there, when they are unsupervised, because you cannot be watching your children 24/7 when they're unsupervised. When an adult touch them in a bad way, they know that something is happening and that is not right, and they leave or they tell you, and you know how to caution them around such adults. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking on a very serious topic. It seems to be that there's a pandemic of sexual predators in the world, but we're going to be talking about the ones in Nigeria today. So most of us know about this, some of us don't know. That is why this video is important, to create more awareness out there for parents, for young adults, for children too, teenagers. So you see the signs, you have it at the back of your mind, and so you're better prepared to handle these predators. So here's a fact: in Nigeria, it is estimated that about 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys have been victims of sexual violence before the age of 18. According to the National Population Commission of Nigeria and UNICEF, these numbers reflect an alarming reality that many children face daily. While this statistic can be hard to pin down due to underreporting, these figures highlight the pervasive nature of the issue. So who is a sexual predator? A sexual predator is an individual who seeks out and exploits vulnerable individuals, typically children or adolescents, for sexual abuse or exploitation. So I'm going to be sharing some characteristics of a sexual predator. In case you have it as a man or a woman, it's time to check it out. Time to go for therapy. It's time to ask the Lord to help you out. But on a lighter note, this is so that you can be able to see the signs from people around you or people close to you. So number one characteristic of a sexual predator is that they are very manipulative. So they usually use this manipulative behavior of theirs to gain the trust of their victims. You know, children are very easy to win over, manipulate, or they're very easy to they find it easy to trust. So these predators can appear very friendly, helpful, or overly affectionate to build a rapport between themselves and their victims. Another characteristic is grooming. Most sexual predators, they groom their victims. Grooming behaviors can include giving gifts to the victims, paying special attention to the victims, isolating the victims from others. Like, you're special, you're the one, you're different, you're my best friend. Luring them out of where others who may be sensitive to things like this. Basically, they lure these children or victims, they isolate them to carry out that manipulative or grooming behavior. Another characteristic is secretive nature. You know, when these people are able to gain the trust of their victims, they tend to tell them, keep this between us. It's our little secret. Don't tell anybody. It's our little secret. Or they'll tell their victims that they will get into trouble if they tell anyone. So they have to keep it a secret. A sexual predator looks out for vulnerability. They target individuals who are vulnerable, such as children, adolescents, those with low self-esteem. They usually exploit situations where the victim feels isolated, unsupported. They take advantage with this. Many sexual predators hold positions of trust and authority, e.g., religious leaders, community figures. This position allows them to manipulate and control their victims easily. Predators often abuse multiple victims over time. They might repeat their predatory behavior with different individuals, maintaining a pattern of abuse. There's always a pattern here if you look carefully. Let's look at the behaviors and tactics of a sexual predator so we can know what to look out specifically for. Grooming language. This one is very important. Fine girl, special boy. This boy is handsome, my husband. a grown-up woman telling a young boy, "You're my husband," or a grown-up man telling the child, "Oh, my wife, my little wife." They use affectionate terms like darling, sweetheart, sweetie, special one, and so on and so forth. If you know anyone, you can put it in the comment section. They mention these names to create a sense of intimacy and trust between their victims and themselves. They create situations where they can be alone with their victims, such as offering to babysit, take them out, giving private lessons, or arranging unsupervised outings. Let's come to the threats aspect, where they get to bully their victims or threaten them. They might use threats, guilt, or fear to keep their victims silent. You know, they try to guilt trip these children. Nobody will believe you if you say anything. That makes them calm down. Daddy and mommy will not believe me. Some examples. A sexual predator can be a family member. Examples of a family members include uncle, aunties, cousins, even siblings who use familiar relationships to gain the trust of their victims. Even parents, some fathers do it. I don't know about mother. It's not so, the mother aspect is not too prevalent like fathers abusing their children, but it happens. You cannot just rule that fact out. Community members, these are examples. Community members, neighbors, family, friends, authority figures, pastors, religious heads, teachers at school, head mistress, headmaster, coaches. These people can use their position to manipulate and control their victims to say nothing after abuse. Peers, when I say peers, I mean people who have themselves been sexually abused. They sometimes, if that victim does not go through healing and therapy, they have the tendency to repeat this with other children. Can this be prevented? Oh yes, it can be prevented. Let's look at some prevention. Educating children and parents about the signs of grooming and predatory behavior is very crucial. That's why we are having this video, to remind parents and remind everyone out there that this is a pandemic and it is still out there. Open conversations about the body autonomy and safe touch can empower children to recognize and report inappropriate behaviors. We need to do this early on. Some parents are still scared and don't know how to sensitize their children about sex and their bodies, growing parts, and things like that. But it is very crucial so that your child would not be molested outside and be scared to tell you. Number 2, prevention is setting boundaries. Establish clear boundaries about private parts and personal space. Teach children that it is okay to say no to adults if they feel uncomfortable with that adult. Monitoring and supervision. Keep a close eye on who spends time with your children. Be cautious of adults who seek to be alone with your child or children. I know that work is busy. We need to hustle. We need to make money to put food on the table for our children. But we need to monitor and supervise them. Even, lesson teachers, these things are very crucial. Lesson teachers, they have unsupervised time with your children. Drivers, when they go pick your kids from school, if you're a very busy parent, or if you are a very busy mom or dad or parent, this house helps. They are alone with your children unsupervised because you trust them, and so these things can happen if they are sexual predators. Encouraging open communication. There's a way you bring up your child that will make it easy for them to communicate with you. So create a safe environment where children feel comfortable discussing their feelings and experiences without fear of punishment or disbelief. It's why some predators even have the guts to tell these children that nobody will believe you if you say it. So parents, let's not be quick to dismiss our children like, don't know what you're saying, keep quiet, or it's your fault this happened to you. If you're not doing this, you're not doing that, nobody will come. So there's a balance to this thing. Let's try and communicate better with our children. Create an enabling environment for them to be free to discuss their feelings with us. Professional support. When this happens, there's this stigma. Parents want to hide it. Everybody's, that child was molested. There's just this little bit of stigma. You need to reassure these victims that they are loved, they are supported, and this is going to pass. This phase is going to pass. And if that is not enough, the reassurance is not enough, they need to heal from that trauma because they trusted this person who did this to them, then that's where professional help comes to play. Professional help in the sense of therapy, talking to a psychologist who can help this child grow out of that trauma or pass through that trauma and heal properly. Seek professional help for children who have experienced abuse. Counseling and support services can aid their healing and recovering. So, to every adult there, or friends of friends of distant family or distant family member who hears that, oh, this my niece, my nephew, or my cousin was molested, what you can do to help them is not to make them feel, don't give off this bad energy like, oh, you were molested, it's bad energy, stay away from my children, don't come close to my children, don't do this. Yes, I know that there's a pattern that some molested children can repeat the cycle. Those are the ones that don't go through therapy or support or any form of support from family and professional support. But there's no need to stigmatize them. There's no need for that. That's where we come to play. Support them, encourage them, be nice with them, and we played our parts. Not, oh, I don't want to spoil my children. Forget about that. Would you rather they find out from the predator tomorrow what the private area is, or inappropriate touch is what it's supposed to be? Let's do better. If you have any contributions on this topic, please let us know in the comments. Thanks for your support. Please let's engage on this post, let's share, let's repost, so that we are reminded of this pandemic. It's out there, so that our loved ones, vulnerable loved ones, younger ones, do not fall as victims to these people. Thank you so much. If you have not yet subscribed, I wonder why you haven't. But with love from me to you, till next time, thank you very much. Bye.